Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Energy Web tokens. So let's just dive in and let's discuss a few things. So it's been a while since I did talk to you guys about Energy Web token, and I figured now would be the best time to talk about this. And why is that? Well, we are seeing a global push behind energy, specifically within crisis mode, because a lot of issues are arising globally currently within the energy sector. Also, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the move towards democratizing the energy sector itself. And I think that this is also a very interesting area when we do talk about like the energy transition that is happening. I think that Energy Web will be the main player behind that specific push, as they have been, being touted by names like BlackRock, for example, but also the continuous building that is happening from Energy Web as well. Going back to the 30th of August, we did see this announcement from Energy Web themselves, and they said, we're proud to celebrate the launch of Switchboard as a milestone in Energy Web's long-term technology roadmap. You can learn more about Switchboard here, and when we actually go over here, this is on their Medium post, and it is saying unlocking the potential of self-sovereign identity for enterprise with Energy Web Switchboard. It provides companies with simple tools to administer decentralized identifiers and verifiable credentials for organizations, users, and even assets. Now, when we look down here, at Energy Web, they believe that self-sovereign identity, SSI, will become a fundamental pillar for the energy transition, enhancing interoperability and strengthening security for billions of assets, organizations, and customers. Remember, the energy market is very substantial to focus on because this is a market that everyone's aware of. Everyone utilizes electricity. Everyone is utilizing energy itself. So when we look at this is a global push, and this is probably one of the biggest pushes as well within crypto. There's not a lot of tokens like Energy Web out there. I know that a few people do bring up a few of them. I'm not going to look into them simply because I hold too many assets at this current moment in time anyways. I honestly would say that I'm over diversified at this point, but I do think that Energy Web is still a major player to focus on, and I think that this is going to be one of my major ones that I do continue to accumulate until value is realized. But we do see here, like today, we're pleased to announce a major step forward in making this vision a reality with the production development of Switchboard on Energy Web chain. This release includes major updates to the front-end Switchboard web application as well as the back-end libraries and components, giving companies access to the full suite features offered by legacy identity access management solutions in a decentralized architecture. And we do see why they built this. So a few of the key ones down here is talking about like the SSI adoption in the energy sector itself. These are the two gaps that they are addressing. So most SSI solutions are focused narrowly on end users, individual identity wallets to store credentials, or organizations' platforms to issue credentials to internal users. We saw a need for a harmonized solution that not only addressed both of these requirements, but also provided sophisticated features like role-based access control and identity management for non-human actors. And then the end-to-end solutions that do exist align with open standards, but are based on proprietary technology, costly contracts, or permission backends, either private blockchains or centrally administered databases. We saw a need for a fully open source, low cost solution built on public network and tightly integrated with the Ethereum ecosystem to improve interoperability, e.g., support for multiple wallets and usability. I think that this personally is going to be substantial. Remember, their main focus here is to democratize the energy sector, but also provide innovative tools within it. And we do see down here, like, what's next? We're proud to celebrate the launch of Switchboard as a milestone in Energy Web's long-term technology roadmap. However, there are many steps ahead in the journey to unlock the full potential of SSI in support of the energy transition. While Switchboard currently offers all the necessary tools to implement SSI in enterprise environments, we will continue to develop additional tools and features across our broader identity and access management stack, including a decentralized universal resolver service for both credential holders and issuers that make it possible to resolve identity data from any blockchain or database. Like I said, they are disrupting the core of the energy sector. And I think that this is substantial. I also think that this should provide anyone that is an EWT holder a little bit of confidence in the fact that the team is going to continue to make strides around this specific sector. I also think that it is substantial to mention the fact that when we look at a lot of like the solutions that they do have, they're focused on every single loose end around the energy sector. They're not just going after one, broad area. Like you see a lot of this around some, markets. For example, there's tokens out there that will focus on, one key area, which it would be like something so broad like Web3 adoption. Okay, how are you going to do that? What are the loose ends that you're tying up? Here, Energy Web, they are focused on every single loose end. They are focused on disrupting every single core piece of the puzzle, which I think is great. And I think that everyone should, not only give Energy Web as a team, a little bit of respect, but also understand how incredible it is to see a team like this continue to build out on, I would argue, one of the most revolutionizing innovations within real world application. But also, remember that the CEO of Energy Web just recently did an interview on CNBC talking about the green proof solution that is going to not only make a little bit more transparency for sustainable energy usage, but also to decarbonize Bitcoin itself. And this is about a 2-minute long video. Listen closely. I think that this is very substantial.
Okay, let's turn now to energy. Crypto has garnered a lot of attention for its carbon footprint and energy-intensive mining practices. But what if blockchain technology could be used to track and lower carbon output for businesses? That's the idea behind Energy Web, which helps companies build decentralized applications to track and lower their carbon footprint. I spoke to Energy Web's CEO about how the technology works and whether it really can lower carbon emissions around the world. All right, Jesse, thank you for joining us today. To start, simply, what is Energy Web and what problem are you trying to solve?
Thank you for having me. Energy Web Foundation, we're a global nonprofit, and we're focused on building enterprise-grade software solutions that accelerate the energy transition away from coal and natural gas and other fossil fuel-powered energy systems to one based on renewables and efficiency. And we happen to use blockchain and Web3 technology as a core part of our infrastructure.
We know that there is no shortage of companies that are trying to use blockchain technology to fix carbon emissions, for example. How would you say your business is different?
So our business is focused on actually serving some of the world's biggest energy companies to provide them with solutions that accelerate decarbonization. So a couple of different examples. We work extensively with Shell, one of the largest oil and gas companies, to basically give them tools to enable dramatic levels of traceability for where things like renewable energy or where things like green hydrogen actually come from, because currently they don't have tools to support that. On the other side, we've also been in conversation with a number of large financial organizations that are looking to actually get involved in crypto. As I mentioned previously, our company actually uses blockchain technology as a core part of our infrastructure. So we sit at the nexus of sustainability and crypto, which is a really interesting place to be in, considering the black eye, for example, that Bitcoin has gotten due to its very intense energy consumption and, by association, carbon emissions.
So you must be in conversations with a lot of these financial institutions. What's some of the feedback that you're hearing? What are some of the concerns?
About 18 months ago, we started to form a hypothesis, which was that in order for large-scale financial...
And that's basically the end of the video. If you guys do want to go check it out, you guys can check it out from CNBC on YouTube. All you have to do is look up CNBC EWT. But when we really kind of look at things happening around this area, I am focused on the financial institutions that they are mentioning in this video, but it also provides you a little bit of an insight on just how substantial of the area that Energy Web is trying to go after and focus on. Remember, a lot of the assets in this space will not be fully adopted in and utilized without proper sustainability in mind. Sustainability has always been like the main key area to focus on, and again, like we do see over here, like they're trying to make Bitcoin green and pave the way for other power intense industries to invest in renewables that maximize grid decarbonization. They're at the forefront of this major push. And why is this substantial right now? Well, it's very important right now because we are seeing an energy crisis happening globally. I actually did tweet this out just recently, and I said there's an energy crisis happening globally, and you aren't stacking EWT. Crazy. Now, a lot of people think that this is just a broad statement that it's like, all right, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll believe it when I see it. But if anybody did do the research, like you could see this happening around the world. Over here, we actually do see in the Czech Republic against the government, soaring prices and energy crisis is happening. This is a massive demonstration, protest, threaten, strike, and coercive action if government doesn't resign by September 25th. Remember, a lot of the major issues happening right now around the energy crisis is from the offset of the economy. The economy is a little bit off its axis, if you will, but it's also kind of collapsing on itself because of the issues that we have really kind of not only, I would say, threw gasoline to a fire on, but we kind of ignored, which was money printing, inflation, etc. And this is not the only report either. If we go over here to Gold Telegraph, we do see countries across Europe are now offering billions of dollars in liquidity guarantees to power companies. The Swedish Prime Minister warned yesterday that the financial system could become under severe strain due to the energy crisis. Remember, everything starts with energy. This is why I say, like, energy is the focus point. And it's crazy, right? Because, you look at crypto, and a lot of people think that, like, crypto is extremely inefficient to use as an energy means of solution. But this is where a lot of people are wrong. Like, when we look at what Energy Web Token is doing, it's disrupting this core, and it's the core of everything. Energy has always been the focus point. But we are seeing Europe in a very, very bad sort of area, and it is centered around the energy crisis itself. EU ministers will discuss on Friday radical measures to rein in soaring energy costs, from gas price caps to a suspension of power derivatives trading, as the bloc races to respond to the deepening crisis. Remember, I'm telling you right now, if you are not looking into major assets like Energy Web Token that are focused on the energy sector, you are going to get left behind. This is not because of the price, but it's because of the key areas of focus. We are already stacked up on major financial institutional and finance tokens itself. We are looking at XRP, HBAR, XLM, XDC. Like, these are great tokens, but when you look at something like an energy grade token that is unlocking the potential and really disrupting the core focus of energy as a market, but also even as an industry itself, that is a very disruptive core. That is also a very disruptive market that not a lot of tokens in crypto are actually focused on. I think that this video over here, this 2-minute long, segment where he was discussing, Energy Web's focus, this should provide you a little bit of an insight on where they are focused on. Their partnerships with Shell or even Volkswagen, etc. Like, those should give you a little bit of an insight on just where they are centered. I think that when we look at the global disruption of something like Energy Web, I think that going into the next few years, Energy Web Token will be a token that everyone knows about. Energy Web as a name will be a name that everyone knows about. It's going to be a blue chip stock. It's going to be a household name. And the reason behind this is just because of the focus on energy currently. In the last couple of years alone, we have seen energy be touted as such a key area of focus around the financial grade areas, but also even as around crypto. I would argue that when we look at Bitcoin, when we look at Ethereum, the amount of shade that's been thrown at these two tokens by themselves, because of their energy usage as well as their environmental impact, it's been substantial. But Energy Web is fixing that. I think that everyone should check out the Crypto Climate Accord. I think that that is also one of the biggest connections to some of the major names in the space, like even XRP. I think that that should open everyone's eyes to what Energy Web Token is really kind of doing. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on. If you guys have more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As those up to you all, have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.